Be advised, this video is for proof of concept and educational purposes only. The maker of this video is not responsible for how you choose to use this information. Always follow local UAS laws.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to look at a remote ID spoofer app and device. I'm going to show you how to flash this ESP32 and update it via the web app. As always, I'm Jeff with Titan FPV and RC. First order of business, guys, if you're not already subscribed, please do so. Click that notification bell and you'll be notified when I upload all new content to the channel. Ready or not, remote ID is coming.
Do not come. Do not come.
It will take effect here in the US in just over 2 weeks on September 16th of 2023. A developer by the name of Fly Andy was recently featured on Bot Grinder's channel. He's provided us with a remote ID spoofer app that can be flashed to most ESP32 devices via the Arduino IDE. Make sure you check the link in the video description for compatibility. Now, this version is the Seed Studio Xiao ESP32 C3 board. I believe they have to have the Bluetooth stack built in for them to be compatible. There are many ESP32 boards that do have a built-in antenna, but the reason why I chose this board is it has an external antenna, so I do feel like this will get better range. I don't have a case designed up for this yet. If I whip one up in Fusion 360, I will post that link in the video description as well, or potentially make an update video. This is powered by USB-C, and for the purposes of this video, I'll be powering it by USB-C. You can add a LiPo to this. I believe the board does support it, but we're not doing that in this tutorial video here. You can also connect an external GPS. You want to pull the location from the GPS, so if you wanted to set this at a specific location and just have it broadcast. But you can configure it by the app. You can pretty much, as you'll see later, you can configure it to pretty much any location. This board was only $10 on Amazon. I'll post that link in the video description. It's going to be an affiliate link. That costs nothing to you, but it does help the channel and help me to put out videos like this for you guys. So if you enjoy those, go ahead, hit that subscription button. I'll have more content for you guys, and this helps me get this out to more people via the algorithm. Let's head over to the computer and get this set up. All right, let's get started. We're gonna head over to the Squidrid GitHub page so we can go ahead and download the app. All right, this just basically explains what the app does. It's going to give you an overview, but we're going to go into all that. For our purposes now, we're just going to go ahead and click on the code, and then we're going to download the zip file. All right, once we've got that downloaded, we need to install the Arduino IDE. So we'll head over there. Software page, and here's the download right here. I'm using this on Mac OS Ventura. Yours may be different for just depending on which system you're using, but for this tutorial we're installing this on Mac OS. You can choose to donate if you'd like, or you can just download the file. Once that's downloaded, we're going to go ahead and open it up and install it. Open it up. All right, and you're just going to have to allow access here. Looks like there is a new version. We can go ahead and skip that for the time being. Currently it's installing the basic packages. Alright, now at this point you can go ahead and connect your board, but it's not going to work off the bat. You're going to have to install a repository for the that custom board. We're going to go ahead and grab our board, plug it in. I'll show you what that does. So here you would select your board, and as you see, it's unknown device right here. We can search for it. ESP32C3. But as you see, there's no board. The location on the serial port, we're going to have to go ahead and go to the Seed Studio wiki page, and then we can get the information on how we can install that through the board manager. This is the board that we've got here. Here's the wiki page right here, getting started. All these links are going to be in the video description here. But basically it's just telling you all the specs and the pinout on the board. And this is what we've got. We have all these things. You're going to need a USB-C cable. It's not going to come with one. We've already installed, so this gives you the entire process. You're going to download this. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and copy this repository link right here. And then we're going to add this to the settings here in the Arduino IDE. So you're going to go over here, and this is going to be additional boards managers URLs. This is where you're going to go ahead and paste that location. And hit OK. It's going to go ahead and download those packages right here, specifically for the ESP32C3 that we need. And then we should be able to go into Tools. We're going to go to Board, and we're going to go to the, should be the Boards Manager. And we're going to type in ESP32. And that's going to go ahead, and these are the boards right here that we're going to need. So as you see, here is the C3 board. That's the one we want. We're going to go ahead and install that package. Alright, so now it's installed. We should be able to go back up here to our tools again, go into boards. Now we have the option for the ESP32, and we're going to go ahead and scroll down to the shell. There it is, and ours is the C3 board. Now I believe you do not want the S3 board because it doesn't include the Bluetooth stack, so make sure you do, when you pick this one up, you pick up the C3 board. Alright, now we've got that selected. We should be able to go ahead and go back here, and we should be able to go into select the other board and port, and now we actually have that board, and I believe that is on this port right here, and we're going to hit OK, and now it's coming up here. Now we have everything we need to connect and flash to the board installed. We're going to have to go into the actual firmware that we downloaded earlier in the zip file from the GitHub page there. So we're going to go ahead and go into our Finder here. The Documents folder, we have Arduino. Go in there, and we don't have any firmware on here, but we downloaded that, so we're going to go ahead and drag this guy over into that folder there. So that should be all set. We can just navigate through here, and we're going to go into the firmware folder, Squidrid, and we're just going to open up this firmware here. It's going to go open up another instance here. So we're just going to close the original one out. we're going to select another board, which this is the shell. Like I said, it's the C3 board. We're going to connect to the correct port, hit OK, and now it's coming up. Now we can go ahead and everything is indexing here. We're going to let that finish updating. Basically, you can just do a test build with verify, and you can upload it to the board with the bright arrow there. So we're just going to go ahead and verify that, and basically it's just going to compile the firmware, and we're getting an error message here. So it's just as simple as we need to download this serial library, because the package that we installed for the shell ESP32C3 board didn't have that. We're just going to go ahead and search this one here and install those drivers. Okay, so we need to install this from the library manager here, so we're going to paste that into the library manager. And this is basically what we need for the ESP32. We're going to install that. And guys, I just wanted to go over this because if you don't install these repositories or these drivers, you're going to run into errors when you're compiling the firmware. So now that we have that installed, we should be able to go back to the sketch. And let's just see if we can go ahead and verify the sketch now. It should go ahead and compile, and we shouldn't get any error messages now. It can take some time just depending on your computer, so just be patient. And as you see now, it's done compiling successfully. I've already flashed this one. All you'll have to do is just click on upload, and then you can go ahead and upload it to the board there. We're done here. Now we're just going to have to go ahead and configure through the web app, and we're just going to go into the GitHub page again. That's going to go ahead and give us a link here, and all these links are going to be in the video description, guys. To configure this on macOS, you need Google Chrome or another comparable browser. You cannot configure it with Safari. If you haven't got Google Chrome installed, go ahead and do that. All right, we're going to go to the Squidrid configurator page there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and hit connect device. As you see, this is the USB debug. That's what the one you're going to select here. Looks like we've got the interface here. It's fairly straightforward. You can do a lot of stuff here. Basically, so Squid, you can set up a specific location that you can set your location or where you want whoever's viewing the remote ID information through the app, where they'll see that the operator is located at and where the actual device is. Now in pest mode, it's going to spawn multiple UAS or drones, whatever you want to call it, unmanned aircraft. This is where you're going to set this up. Now initially the location is going to be somewhere it defaults to like off the coast of Africa, unless you want people, for the testing purposes that you're using this for, to see that the device is in Africa. You'll want to go ahead and set it to, you know, a closer location to where you might be at there, or in the vicinity there, and click on center here, and that's going to go ahead and tell you, you know, where the device is. Looks like I've got this one set up here. We'll give it a second to generate. Hopefully it's going to go ahead and load the map. Sometimes it takes a bit, guys, for it to go ahead and pull the map data in here. So you may get a little bit of input lag here. But you can also go here to the profile here, and this is going to tell you kind of what all stuff you've got, and it defaults to this, like so the UA type is going to be helicopter or multi-rotor, so this will be like a drone. ID type is a serial number. It's going to randomly generate you a remote ID serial number. This is going to be the origin, the altitude, the operator, origin, altitude, and this is if you want to connect an external GPS with the board. The C3 ESP32 board, you can add an external GPS if you want to do so. If you want to make any changes to this, you can. I just recommend leaving most of this to default. If you want to make changes, hit apply. If you want to get out of that, go to the map screen, just hit cancel. And here, this is the center location of here where the drone's taken off. This is pest mode right here, so that's why you're not getting the path here. But in squid mode, this is where it shows you all your information, how many satellites here, and all that good stuff here. So this broadcasts a remote ID via the, I think the low energy Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. The application that people can use to locate with a remote ID tag, I believe, currently, I couldn't get one working on iOS. I had Amazon Fire Tablet for Android. There is an app that you can download. I was only able to get it working on Android. People are trying to view what drones are flying in the area. They may only have access if they have an Android device. A lot of people do have Android devices, so they would be able to view your remote ID information. You got squid mode there. That's just typically, you know, what the speed is here. This is not flying. If you want the drone to fly, you can go ahead and hit fly, and then this is your speed, and then your altitude here. That's going to go ahead and update that information here. And this is where you want to go ahead and update your information here. So for the operator here, you want to place, I don't even know where we are located here. You can go ahead and zoom out of the map. Now you see it's finally updating here. Okay, here we go. I'm actually in Tennessee. Say we want to fly, how about Lafayette? Let's do that. That's a nice area. So there's the operator. We've now set the operator here. And then you can go ahead and sync that up. And if you want to go ahead and click on the origin here, you can go ahead and add the drone origin. Now you're probably going to put the drone somewhat near the operator because it doesn't make sense, you know, if you're spawning the drone outside of the range of where the operator's at. So, but we can just scroll in here. Looks like we got Nashville Highway. It's nearby. And then we can just go ahead. We'll put the quad right here. Okay. Now it is going to show like the original location for some reason. It starts this like the path in South Africa. I don't know why. Hit sync here, and that should go ahead and update. Let's go ahead and hop over to the Android app, and we'll see, you know, if it's coming up there. So basically, we're flying near Lafayette, Tennessee. All right, so the app is Open Drone ID. You can find that in the Play Store. And basically, it's just going to go ahead and locate and as you see, it's coming up over here on Nashville Highway that there is a takeoff here. It's giving you all that information there, but that's basically where we set the information here, and that's just showing you the aircraft. It doesn't look like it updated the operator information here. I may need to go back in here and update the operator. Sometimes it's weird about the operator, how it pulls information. I believe that's what the developer said. So, but you can go over here and update the operator information. And now when I did that, if you see it updated the path. So you're just going to have to go around here and play around with this. Sometimes you have to go in and out of the configurator And there we go. All right, looks like it's working good now. And we're gonna go ahead and hit center again here. And it should show us where we are located here. Yep. As you see, even the remote ID app is kind of buggy here. But we can see the drone is flying near Lafayette, near Cookeville Highway. So, but yeah, it looks like it's flying near Lafayette. So we can put this in test mode here. We can go ahead and play around this. This is like the speed here. Here's the range. Speed, we're gonna go 10 seconds here. It's gonna go ahead and spawn new ones. And we're gonna go ahead and hit fly. And then we're gonna go ahead and hit sync. And as you see, it's just spawning UAS in the area now. So somebody has this app, they're going to see multiple just drones. So it would be hard to locate a specific, individual drone if there's a whole bunch that are just kind of moving throughout the area. So that's a good feature here. And you can go ahead and pause that if you want them to go ahead and stop. It'll stop spawning the drones here. And then this is the external feature here. If you want to do that for like the GPS, the external is if you have a GPS module connected there, you'll just go ahead and configure that and then save that. When you unplug the ESP32 from the computer and then power it, via USB source, or like I said, if you chose to wire up a LiPo, as soon as it's turned on or connected to a power source, it's going to go ahead and start broadcasting whatever the last setup that you had for the location there. So, but typically you may just want to go ahead and do what's called a squid. So you can go ahead and just generate, one specific quad or a couple quads. So we can go ahead and clear that one out here. And then, so now it's back to just the typical broadcast here, that last location. I think I did have a problem with setting an operator. No, there it is. So I was able to set the operator there and hit sync. And now the operator is updated. So it is still kind of buggy. This is an early version of the app. I believe I started playing around with this in July. It's now August. So it's a free app. So there's not anything to complain with. We appreciate, what the developer has offered to the community, giving back for us there. And so, if you want to donate, I didn't find much information there from him off Bot's video. Maybe Bot Grinder wants to chime in if you guys wanted to shoot him a couple bucks there or coffee there, because he is giving back to the community. We definitely appreciate that. So, especially in these tough times that are coming up for FPV. So yeah, we've set the location there. We can change the origin. Like if I want to move the origin here, I can go ahead and change the origin. And now, as you see on the app, it is updated as well. So, but yeah. And then you can hit fly, and then that should go ahead and kind of start flying around here. We can go ahead and get the pan here and get all the information here. So here's the latitude, longitude, altitude, kind of what's going on here. And you can just do like random flights here if you want to do that. And that's just going to go ahead and constantly update kind of what the drone's doing there. But as you see, kind of the takeoff point now, the drone is moving here just kind of randomly. You have the operator down there at the bottom. So just play around with this, guys. But this is just a brief overview. I wanted to bring this to the community, especially before, you know, next month will be here, or even about 2 weeks. Hopefully this video was informative, guys. Stay tuned to the channel. I do have a lot more awesome content coming soon. As you see, I do have the SpeedyBee Master HD frame build up and running. That will be in a coming video. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications enabled. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.